So here's a quick review of my LaSalle Peak by Fezzari. I had this bike, I believe, since the middle or the end of May this year. It's about four months or so, and it's a super enduro. It's a big bike. I previously had a Cascade Peak trail bike, and I was concerned that this was going to be too much bike for me on these trails. But I've been riding it, for the last 4 months or so, probably about 250 miles, maybe, I put on it. And I have been really pleasantly surprised of how good it is on the trail. I would call it an all mountain bike. The geometry is certainly super enduro. It has 170 millimeters of travel in the front and 170 in the back. It has DVO suspension, Onyx D1 in the front, and it has Topaz 2 in the back. Really excellent suspension. I had a DVO, I had a Diamond D1 on my trail bike on the Cascade Peak with I had adjusted it to 150 travel, and it was really excellent with the off the top adjustment, the standard rebound, high compression and low compression adjustments. Anyway, I haven't made too many modifications to it. I changed the cranks to stylo carbon fiber cranks. I think these are race face flat pedals, one-up components, carbon fiber handlebar, 780 millimeters, P&W grips. I ordered a Fox, I don't remember what the model is, but dropper. I changed the tires. It came with a Maxxis Assegai. I really love the WTB Vigilante. It has just the pattern of it, the material. I mean, it has awesome grip for cornering, and it has fairly decent rolling resistance. That's more of a downhill tire, but it's less, I would say, less sticky on flats than the Assegai, so I love it for that. An excellent corner, really tough too. I haven't had any flats, no punctures in the rear. I'm running a Maxxis Aggressor. By the way, this is a mullet setup, so 29er in the front and 27.5 in the back. Fezzari bikes come with a flip chip technology, so you just take out the bolt, flip the chip to adjust the geometry if you're going to be running both 27.5 or 29ers, or if you do a mullet. I have it in the high setting now for the mullet, and I haven't had any problems. Anyway, it came with one major, I guess, change that I made is I installed the SRAM axis, so wireless shifting. All right, so GX axis, and it is very smooth, very precise, very reliable. I haven't had any problems whatsoever. Really love it. Anyway, let's go for a little ride. Oh, last thing, brakes. Very important. Kodar brakes. Very good, excellent brakes. Great modulation on the brakes. It came original because this is a comp model, 180 in the front and 180 in the back, but I changed the rear to 203 in the back. So put a little modified the got an adapter so it can handle the 203. Don't really need it actually, but it's never a bad thing to have more than enough stopping power. Anyway, so there it is. Also, I should have mentioned it in the beginning. It's a carbon fiber frame, extremely quiet bike. It has clean catch, I think it's called, these to hold the cables in place, so you don't hear any cable rattling. And I believe I read that it has tube, so within the frame there are tubes that were casted, into the carbon fiber frame to hold the tubes to hold the cables in place, the tubes in place, and so very extremely quiet bike even through rough terrain. All right, well, let's go for a ride. One last note, the geometry. The head angle tube is 64 degrees. The seat, the effective seat tube angle is 77.5, so very steep, puts you in a very comfortable pedaling position. The bike climbs really well for being such a big bike. It climbs better than my Cascade Peak, which I don't remember the exact angle of the seat tube, but it wasn't 77.5. I believe it was 75.5. Still a very good climber. You can look up the specs on their website. But I've been really impressed with the climbing ability. The wheelbase too, pretty long. This is a medium frame and it's 1230, so 1230 millimeters. So long, not the longest, but certainly not short. But again, it just handles really well. The twisty turns, especially with a mullet setup. But even without that, when I had the 29er, still handled really better than I expected. Better than my Cascade Peak, which had a much shorter wheelbase. I believe it was 1160. Yeah, again, you can look it up on the website. All right. Previous bike, I used to clip trees more often. I don't know if it was not as composed as this one. The handling got a little better on the LaSalle Peak and the Cascade Peak, I gotta say. Thought I saw something. Alright, across the creek here. Wow. Pedal strike. Very good. Rock a little hill. A little roll. Yeah, the bike is amazingly good in uphill technical terrain. got a nice, I don't know, 5-6 foot roll here. It's amazing because they're having so much suspension. Are these trees tight? Got it. Nice little step down roll here. So the bike really handles technical terrain really well. That was just my rear tire snapping over the block. Whew. This step here is really tricky. I don't know why. No problem today. Rocky uphill. More technical terrain. Trees. Step. Tight trees. Swings. Let me get through. Here we go. On the sketchy, skinny, small downhill section. One footer.